Hello, I am the Hardcore Gamer, and it's been a little bit of time since I last seen you, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a channel update video and do a little bit of a Q&A so you can kind of see what I've been up to. Also, I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on my toy room because some things have changed, I've got some new bits, so I thought you'd be interested in that as well. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so I've got this fancy wide angle lens thing on, just I thought I'd give you just an overview, and I'll get into a bit more depth in a minute. But here we go. That's the light, that's why that's super bright, obviously. So there we go. That is the overview. So let's go into a little bit more detail, shall we? Okay, let's start with the desk area. A little bit of a mess, but this is just kind of how it is at the moment. It's still workable by me. I don't mind a little bit of clutter. I've had a lot of questions actually about my setup, so the sort of things I used to make videos with. So I think that might be a separate video. I'm doing a Q&A after this, and one of the questions that did pop up quite a lot is what is my setup, what do I use to make videos? So I think doing that as a separate video is probably the way forward. There's my stickers. Well, this is a game shelf. It's a little bit of a mess at the moment just because I'm running out of space, to be completely honest with you. On the top there are some Transformers. I'll show you the Transformers first. These are all Masterpiece editions, so they're super expensive adult ones. I haven't bought any in a while actually, so this is kind of all there is for the time being. Got a couple I've got my eye on, but again it's just 14 really. Moving down the shelves, there we have some GameCube, some Wii U and some PS2 games, and some amiibos there. That is my crowdfunding exclusive Raz from Psychonauts 2 figurine that I got. Still waiting for that to come out, I cannot wait. It's going to be a great time. A little bit of PSP up there as well actually. So that is that. Moving down the shelf, again this is messy. There is some DVDs, some skate videos. Behind there is my Dreamcast games, which you cannot really see. Let's just take this stack out. There you go, some Dreamcasts. And there is some Japanese Sega Saturn and some regular Sega Saturn. The Sega Saturn collection has actually improved quite a lot. I've got some pretty decent titles in there now. Thanks to some friends and thanks to going to a few conventions and things. There's some original Xbox there and there's some PS1, just because all the cases broke originally, so they are in PS2 boxes. And the bottom shelf is FIFA games at the front and an Xbox 360 games at the back. And more DVDs and stuff and junk and things. This is the first Spider-Man comic I ever owned, so I decided to rebuy that. There's an Assassin's Creed Gauntlet and my capture card. As I said, a little bit cluttered at the moment. We'll move on to, this is here, so we'll do this. Coffee table. That's a Lego set. There's a reason that's there. It's because I've run out of space. I need to kind of mix things around and try and get some space for it, but got that for Christmas. It's a French restaurant. It's pretty cool. Moving on to the TV section. Look, there are more games. There are more consoles. I now have a PS3 and a PS4. Got that for Christmas last year. It came with a SpiderMan game as well, which I reviewed, which I absolutely adore. PS3, which a friend randomly gave me, which I did a video about actually. And then there are some games. Lots and lots of games in there. A few sealed ones in there as well. I am planning on doing a separate video about my backlog and the games I want to get through this year, just so you can kind of see what I'm wanting to play. There's my reflection. Hello. Moving on to consoles. Well, firstly, there's some Disney Infinity figures. Moving on to consoles. Coffee table away slightly. So there are mini consoles. So I've got my NES, my SNES, and my PlayStation. I've actually hacked my PlayStation Mini now. With the USB, it's super easy to do. So I can add more games to it, which is pretty cool. It's useful. So I tend to go to hotels and things, training courses and stuff at work. It's useful to have with me so I can play stuff in hotel rooms. I actually went on one recently and I sat playing Tony Hawk 2 most of the time, which was quite fun. There is my Xbox One, original edition one there with the 2TB extra hard drive on there. Moving down, there is some Game Boys and my Xbox 360 with a Transformers plate on it. And a bunch of extra controllers and things. This Game Boy Advance hiding just under the Game Boys. Then we've got Wii U, my NES and my GameCube with a Game Boy player attachment. I'm sure my voice is going so high pitched. Moving over here, you've got a Mega Drive, Sega Saturn and Super Nintendo. There we've got N64, that's new since last time, Xbox and a Dreamcast, and down the bottom there you've got PS1 and 2 PS2s. In there is a couple of Blu-ray players and cables and controllers and things like that. Moving on to the big shelves, so we'll do the top first, why not? So there is a couple of things that just won't fit anywhere else. So we've got some Transformers bits there, including a couple of Fortress Minimi, is that right? Is that the plural? And some boxes for the Masterpiece stuff. There is a Masterpiece Rodimus, Power Rangers boxes, Transformers boxes, Transformers boxes, Transformers boxes, and there is a WWE Championship replica, which is pretty sweet, that I literally only bought because CM Punk hold it. It's the only reason I bought that title. It's pretty cool though. Now we'll move on to this section here. So this stuff should all be relatively new, well, to you anyway. This is an Assassin's Creed shelf, because I absolutely love Assassin's Creed. We've got Jacob there, there's Bayek back there, another Bayek there, there's Edward Kenway, there's an Arno, and then there's a couple of these little Lego things, not Lego, they're Mega Blocks, but these are like brick built assassin figures, which is pretty cool. There's a few more Transformers here, and there's a random Gundam because he's filling a spot. Because eventually I want to get the Masterpiece Megatron, so he can stand there as well. I've seen a couple on eBay quite cheap actually, so I might have to pick one up sooner rather than later. There is a Connoisseur bracelet that I got at a WWE show. Moving down, this is the All Rodimus shelf. I don't think this has changed much since the video. But there you go, there's a whole lot of Rodimuses. Rodimi. Plurals, yeah, weird. Moving down. This is a lot of new stuff. So this is Super Nintendo and N64 games, and there's some Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games at the front there. So this is pretty cool. This is one of my favourite shelves. Now I have an N64, I can buy N64 games, more Super Nintendo games, and I've got things like this. These little photos of SpiderMan that I didn't have before. Somebody asked me a question actually for the Q&A thing about Spider-Man, doing it again. I think I have enough games where I could, so I need to think about what I'm actually going to do for it. But yeah, there is a possibility of that happening. So, moving further down, there is Metroplex there. He is ginormous. Actually, might have to slide him out the way a little bit. Sorry, Optimus. Let's pop you down there. Let's move you over there, just so we can get to these shelves. Mega Drive. This is all Mega Drive games on here. There is a couple of decent things here as well. I've also got this now, so I can play imports, which is great. I always like playing in imports on original hardware. I'm not a fan of chipping and hacking things, really. So I like to get things like this. I've got one for my Super Nintendo there as well. I've got one for my Sega Saturn too, so I can play the old imports and pick some import stuff up and play stuff that I wouldn't normally have access to, which is pretty cool. So there's that. I'm going to have to blur up my address on this. But this is a package a friend sent me. Now I've opened it, but I haven't looked at what's inside yet. This is to congratulate me on reaching my 300 subscribers. Now this is from my friend Macula Reviews. I'll link his channel below. He sent me a message saying if I had the ability to play Japanese Mega Drive games. I said yes, I have a card that should play them. So he said, okay, here's a couple of Japanese Mega Drive games. Don't play them until you get to 300 subscribers. So I haven't even looked at what they are. So that's literally still how it was sent to me. I'm sure Macula can vouch for that fact. So I don't know what these are. What my plan is when or if I hit 300 subscribers, I'm going to unbox these and I'm going to do like a kind of let's play type thing with them to see what they actually are, because it could be interesting. So that's that. That's on my Mega Drive shelf because he told me they were Mega Drive games, but I genuinely don't know what they are. Just have a little look at these. So there's some interesting things there. Doing a couple of new bits there. I bought where is it? Buster's Hidden Treasure just in there recently, so I want to get down to playing that eventually. Got things like Quack Shot, which is good for those kind of quickie short reviews I do. I'm really gonna have to like blur out that address so you cannot see what it is, but that's no problem. Okay, and on the very bottom shelf here is PS1. again, I've been buying a few PS1 bits recently. So that's in there. There's some demo discs and things there as well. There's some cards there again, so I can play import games, which is pretty sweet. And that, just because I didn't want to throw it away, that's the box for my expansion pack for the N64 there. So that's games. So moving up to Transformers, I think I've showed all these up before, so I'm not going to be in super depth, but there is a Transformers shelf, pan. Haven't really bought any Transformers since, there's nothing super new on here. Down here, so there's a few bits in there that might be some of this stuff, but Megatron I think is new. The Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie I think is new, but that's about it. There is Unicron. Back up here, same thing, not really changed anything. So there is some original G1 Transformers, some more G1 Transformers. These might be quite new. These are some of the Headmasters series. It was released a couple of years ago, so we've got a couple in there. Don't think very many of them, but there we go. Some more Power Rangers. I think some of these might be different since I last filmed. Not sure, but there's loads of, these are all the SH Figure Arts Power Ranger figures. Don't have any Lightning collection yet, which is the new Hasbro series, so might have to check them out at some point, but at the moment I'm quite happy with my Figure Arts. There is some props and things in there, it's a little bit more arranged than it was last time. There is a few more Power Ranger bits in there, teams and Megazords, things like that. Very bottom shelf, if I'm going to film it, it's quite dark, is Transformers Animated. So that's all in there. WWE title there, and some Power Rangers. I think these are differently set up than they were previously, but we have the mannequin, obviously. Then we have the original Ultrazord there. There is some Thunder Megazord stuff. I do want a tour, so if anyone has a tour they're willing to sell me or send me, then please let me know, because I'm definitely up for having one of those. I'm going to get a sticker kit for the Tigerzord there, maybe for the Thunder Megazord as well. So they are nice and complete. There's these little figures here, which are really neat, and I think my girlfriend's been posing them. That's why they're all cheering like crazy, because that's her kind of go-to thing. If they ever come in here and there's figures that I've just got a hand straight up in the air, I know she's been in there playing. There is some Ninja stuff in there, so we've got Ninja Megazord, Shogun Megazord, the Falcon, and some figures. There are a few other series Megazords in here from series that I've liked, mostly based on the Sentais, to be honest, rather than the Power Ranger series, but the Power Ranger Megazords is sometimes the cheapest way to get them. And then there's a little bit of a bookshelf in there, it's a bit jumbled up, but that's that. Obviously the mannequin you've seen, there he is. Moving on to this shelf, so this is my Lego Ghostbusters fire station, which is massive, and it is really cool. It's probably my favourite Lego set actually. It took me a full week to build. We've got the figures that came with the set there on the front. This little back plate of figures here came with the original Ecto 1. I've also got the new Ecto 1 from the new Ghostbusters movie, which I didn't actually mind that much. There's a lot of hate for it, but I didn't mind it too much. Girls there at the very front. So that's that. Moving down, we have a bit of a wrestling shelf there. So we've got some CM Punk figures, because I love CM Punk, as I've said previously. We've also got a few other figures. So we've got a Zack Ryder there, because I'm super into his podcast. If you've not heard the Major Wrestling Figure podcast with him and Kurt Hawkins, it's definitely worth listening to. Even if you don't collect wrestling figures, if you're just a collector of just toys, it is a really great listen. We've got a Becky Lynch there. We've got a Ruby Wright there, which is a new one that I got literally a couple of weeks ago. CM Punk there again, Bailey, Big Championship. So yeah, there's a few WWE things there. This is a kind of Misc shelf that's slowly turning into SpiderMan, because yes, you know I love SpiderMan, so we've got a bunch of Spideys there, including the Disney Toy Box one. That is a Far From Home Spidey figure at the very front there. Some of these mini mates, because I thought they were cool back in the day. Scarlet Spider, Mego Spider-Man, which is one of my favourites. And the next shelf is a rarity. It's empty, except for a few Godzilla bits. Still not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but we will figure that out eventually. It may be an overspill for some Lego, or I could put some other things in there, but I've still not decided yet. But we can, and there is time. Okay, the stuff here, which you've sometimes seen in the back of my videos. This is a signed picture of Seth Rollins from WWE. So just move Spidey out the way for a second. And his signature there. There's some Spidey cosplay bits. Box for my Assassin's Creed Gods Edition of Origins. Boxes for my Classic Editions. Xbox ID hat that I managed to blag ETX Res, which is quite fun. And then a bunch of stuff from loot crates. I think I'm going to do giveaways with this stuff. So I think when I hit different subscriber milestones, I'm going to do some giveaways and give away some cool gaming loot. So if you are interested, then please tell your friends, subscribe to the channel, and I can do like draws and things probably through Twitter, and yeah, give some stuff away because I want to give back to you guys. You know, I paid good money for this stuff and it's just sitting there. I love games. Some stuff I'm not super into, but yeah, it's good to be able to give back to people. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there. That is contains all my cables. This tote box here, I got it from HMV when I used to work at HMV. Moving on, we have a radiator that doesn't work, hence all the stuff in front of it. My lighting setup, and there's some light parasols there. Couple of tripods just there. Moving around. Now we have Lego. This is kind of what I collect at the moment. Other than retro gaming, this is what I'm spending my money on. I don't really buy Transformers really much anymore. Not bought any Power Rangers stuff in a long time, so this is what we're dealing with. So we have some complete minifigure series just here. These are the Simpsons minifigure series. This is supposed to be Grandpa. I had him when I moved in here. He's gone. I've got no idea where he is. So if you have a spare Simpsons minifigure series 1 Grandpa kicking around, please let me know because I want him to finish the collection. Moving on, we have the I think it's the 40th anniversary of the minifigure set there. That's complete, including the policeman, who is super rare. I just managed to find him in a bag, which is pretty sweet. The rest of the series there. That's the complete first series of Batman. I kind of wasn't interested in the second series, so I only managed to pick up the first. That is Lego Movie 2. I'm missing 5 figures from that. So again, if you have any doubles, I'm more than happy to do some swaps or to pick some up if you're interested in parting with them. I do have a bunch of doubles that I can show you in a moment. I should show you now while we're on it. These are my doubles, so if you need any of these guys, we can do a swap. And that is the green bag newest standard minifigure series, so I need most of those. So yeah, again, if you've got any of those, please hit me up. Moving on to the city. This is eventually where the French restaurant from our coffee table will live, but at the moment it's not here. So let's do a quick pan across the city. There's all sorts of stuff going on. There's characters in there. There's things going on the rooftops. Yeah, it's like quite a lot happening here. Let's just zoom in on this little area here, because it's me and it's my girlfriend, and we're just leaving the diner. Hence why I'm holding this ridiculous pizza slice. Just do a little move along the city. This is the exclusive minifigure from the London store, Lego store. Move it along. There's the doubles. And there. So yeah, that is my Lego city. As you can see, there's they're confused. Doc and Marty are confused as to why they're on the roof of the building. There's a bit of a situation here with the police chasing these criminals. At Christmas time, I take this fountain out and put a Christmas tree in. That's my own design, that's not part of the city, like the set, but I thought it was a neat little touch. So that is currently my Lego city. So we'll show some of the shelves off as well. Okay, this is my Marvel shelf. There's a lot of minifigures in here, a lot of sets in here. There's stuff that I can't fit on this shelf, like this. This is the Iron Man Hall of Armour set. So I need to rearrange these somehow, these shelves, so I can actually get all my Marvel stuff out. But let's do a little pan in there. So there's the Avengers Tower, there's the Daily Bugle, that's the Venice Bridge from SpiderMan Far From Home, that's the Hulkbuster, a bunch of different vehicles in there, different things in here, and then the minifigures. So I've got some quite hard to get ones as well. Let's do that so you can see them all through. That is a bootleg Stanley I got at a convention. Don't really own many bootleg figures. Got a couple. But it's basically stuff that LEGO don't make. So anytime I ever buy a bootleg, I'm not super interested in having a fake in my collection just for the sake of it. Like this guy is a bootleg, this guy is a bootleg, because they just don't make them. Panning along. There we go. This guy is a bootleg, because the real one is super expensive, but he was given to me as a gift, so I can't really complain too much. But he's awesome, I love the game, so I just really wanted that figure. That Spider-Gwen is a bootleg as well, but it's better than the actual official LEGO release one, so it's the only reason I've got those. Moving on, Speed Champions. This is the cars. They're all replicas of real cars, which are pretty cool. Not got a lot of space in here actually. Might better get one, maybe two back in here unless I try and rearrange the section somehow. If I get some more risers like that, I could do 2 layers, so that could work quite well. This is my favourite. That's my favourite car of all time. This is a 67 Mustang Fastback, and it's just, look at it, it's cool. That's Speed Champions. I'm on Hall of Armour here, blocking. This is my Misc shelf, so I think if I need more space, this might be the one where I have to kind of move things around a little bit. Let's just slide you out the way. So I've got the Jurassic Park kitchen set there, which is really cool. There's some of these brickheads I'm not super into, but they were cheap, and the Joker one was a gift. And a lot of this stuff is kind of the freebies you get as well when you spend certain amounts on Lego. So the Hans Christian Andersen book was a freebie. This little like raptor pen was a freebie. Chicken was a freebie. The cookie house was a freebie. That little like ATST Walker thing was a freebie. This little stage was a freebie as well, and the little mini was a freebie. Yeah, the Lego Episode 1 set, Star Wars Episode 1, I thought was cool. There's some kind of not Lego bits in there. So there's some Creo, and there's some Mega Blocks, and that's a minifigure that I got given from a book. Someone gave me a book, Ninjago book, and it had this little minifigure attached to it. So I thought that was cool. So that's that. Moving on, this is DC, and again, I'm not the biggest fan of DC, so I might have to do something with these or move them around or something. But this is the set that started. Oh, this is kind of what started my Lego EFOL addiction, really. This is the original Batman Arkham Asylum set, and it's really cool. Which is kind of like, I was like, I like Batman. That's a cool set. I'll get that. And that's basically what started it all. So there's a few more minifigures in here. These are all originals, nothing bootleg in here. A few sets there as well. Some Lego movie, Lego Batman movie stuff. Batman vs Superman. It's all a bit of a mixture, but it's all DC stuff. Okay, moving on. This is my kind of city and police stuff. There's the pizza truck there. It used to be in my city, but now it's all minifigures, police, criminals, and the vehicles and stuff from the city police sets. A couple of these are basically inspired by playing Lego City Undercover. So like these cars, these two are in Lego City Undercover. There's helicopters in Lego City Undercover. There's police trucks in Lego City Undercover. Chase McCain from Lego City Undercover is there. So that's kind of what influenced some of those. But again, I just like the police stuff. I think it's quite neat. Then a very, very bottom shelf, which is going to be hard to film because it's quite dark, is all original Lego Movie. I don't know anything from Lego Movie 2 other than the minifigures, because I just wasn't that bothered by it. But the first Lego Movie was kind of amazing. So got a lot of stuff in there from that. Again, this could be a shelf that I could lose. I could put these into storage somewhere and regain the space. So I'm not too sure what to do yet. So that, my friends, is the room tour. Okay, so let's move on and do a bit of an update, a bit of a Q&A. So here we are, back on the sofa, and it's time for a Q&A. But first, I just want you to do a little bit of a channel update. As you're aware, there hasn't been that many videos out from me since I finished Spider Month, which is a bit sucky. I wish I was doing more content, but at the moment, I'm just really, really busy with work. I've just started a new job. I have to travel to and from there, so a lot of my free time is spent commuting at the moment. So finding time to actually sit down and make videos is really, really tough at the moment. But I'm still wanting to keep going with the channel. I'm still wanting to make stuff for you guys to see. It's just going to be a little bit less consistent coming out. Not that it was super consistent in the first place, but there's definitely still stuff coming. The channel isn't going anywhere, just stuff is going to take a little bit longer to be made. But I'm still 100% wanting to do stuff for you, want to talk about games, want to talk to people on Twitter, want to carry on doing all these great things. So that's the update, really. The update is there is no update. There's no schedule in place for videos. Videos will be out when they're done, basically. I spend a lot of time on my commute writing, so I'm writing new videos. I've also been doing some stuff for Jumpcut, for Jumpcut Play specifically, where I'm writing games reviews and games things. I've done one that's come out so far, which is about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I'm thinking about doing a Tony Hawk series there, so every single video, I'll put my teeth back in, every single thing I do for them will be Tony Hawk's based. So I've done Tony Hawk 1, might go through the series, so that'll be quite fun. So that's kind of what I'm doing to in my free time, but there will be more videos coming, I 100% promise you that. On to the Q&A. Now I've got everything on my trusty iPad here, and yeah, I am that narcissist who's got my own logo on my iPad wallpaper. But hey, I posted some questions to Facebook and to Twitter, basically saying, doing a Q&A, what do you want to know? So this is the results of that, basically. I'm just going to read them out. So this is going to be super ad hoc, unscripted. I'm just going to read out what's on here and try and answer the questions the best I can. I might not give names. I think I'll just say what the question is and have the text appear at the bottom of the screen so you can see that's the question we're on. It's going to be a bit jump cutty as well. We're probably going to stumble over things and it takes time to find these things. So here we go. Q&A. First question. What games due to release in 2020 do you see people getting hyped about but just can't get enthusiastic for? So I saw this question come in and I was thinking about this. The only thing that springs to mind is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I am not into Final Fantasy, like, at all. I just don't care about it. I tried to play Final Fantasy VII on the PS1, like way when it was released, and I just did not get into it. So I think that will probably be the big one. Stuff I am excited about, which isn't a question, but I thought I'd talk about it anyway. Cyberpunk looks great. I'm hoping there's an announcement for the new Assassin's Creed this year at E3, so I can see what that's about, which will be super cool. The rumours are kind of Vikings, so if it is Vikings, that'd be cool, especially if they use the same control system they used in Origins and in Odyssey. Maybe a bit more Origins than Odyssey, because Odyssey was a little bit like too kind of Dark Souls-like. So hopefully they go more Origins-y, but we'll see. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff coming out. Resident Evil 3! Didn't even say Resident Evil 3. Like, yeah, that I want to play, because I like the original. I didn't like the original as much as I did 2, but that's another story altogether. I'm going to do a video on 2 eventually. It's going to happen, just so you're aware. Yeah, so that's that. Got another Spider-Man in the works. I alluded to it a little bit in the bit you just saw just before this, the kind of room tour. I think I have enough games to do another Spider-Man. That Spider-Man kind of killed me. It took ages to make and ages to edit. And like the final video, the Spider-Man PS4 video, took me like so long to make because I put so much into that video. But yeah, I'm totally up for doing another Spider-Man or doing like a different kind of like themed month. Like Tony Hawk month would be a good thing because I love the Tony Hawk games. I know I'm writing about them for Jumpcut Play, but it doesn't mean I can't still make videos about them. Like Assassin's Creed month, maybe we're favourite Assassin's Creed games. That will require replaying them, which may take a little bit more time than a Spider-Man game. I've got a whole thing planned for FIFA. So instead of doing one big massive video, maybe I could do a month, like a FIFA month, and split it into 4 separate videos. That could be quite cool. But yeah, I'm totally up for that. Spider-Man I absolutely adore, so yeah, doing another Spider-Man would be pretty cool. Maybe doing like a favourite games month where I talk about my favourite games, like one a week. That's going to take forever to do. But yeah, there's a little bit of brainstorming there. So there you go. That's my process. That's what goes on in here. Moving on. What pushes you to make content? I just like it. I love watching YouTube videos. The amount of like content I watch on YouTube is insane. So being able to make something that someone else might enjoy and getting to talk about the stuff that I enjoy anyway is just, to me, is just amazing. I get super excited when I get super into a subject, so wanting to be able to talk about that subject with people and use kind of all the skills I've learned throughout my years, like editing, filmmaking, all that stuff, to be able to present a good version of my thoughts on that subject. Yeah, it's, to be honest, it's the thrill of making a video. I know I'm not super popular. I mean, I've got a pretty decent following, but I'm not one of the super mega big boys. And I've got quite a nice little family of people that watch my videos. And so thank you to every single person watching my videos, every single person who subscribed. You're all fantastic. So yeah, just making stuff for, you know, my big group of mates to watch is cool. What is your favourite classic game and favourite contemporary game? This is a good question. Classic game will be classed that as retro, and in contemporary something a bit more modern. That's pretty much how I read it. If we're going to go for contemporary game, at the moment it's SpiderMan PS4. It's not going to be anything else, to be honest with you. I absolutely love that game. Like, I can't express in words how much I love that game. So it's totally going to be that. Classic game. Let me think, because choosing one's going to be really hard. So maybe if I do like retro, so like Mega Drive, Super Nintendo era, then like a PS1 era, then like a PS2 era, like PS3, Xbox 360 era, and then then we were up to contemporary. So let's do that. So like Mega Drive, Super Nintendo era. Gosh, that is, I've not actually thought about any of these, so this is all going to be super off the cuff. Glance at the shelves. I really like Super Mario World, actually. It's just one of those games that triggers those nostalgic memories of borrowing my friend's Super Nintendo and playing that like relentlessly. So I really like that. That might be one of them. And Sonic 2 as well. Like, Sonic 2 is my favourite Mega Drive game. It's just so good. And again, it's that nostalgia of playing that as a kid and, you know, being able to complete it. Like, being one of the first games I completed. I didn't manage to complete anything on the NES, you know. Just really hard. Leave me alone. Yeah, so I'd probably say Super Mario World. I know it's a little bit of like an easy one, but let's say that. So PS1 era. Again, it's a tough one. I'd probably, again, another cop-out answer. Probably say Tony Hawk 2. Or Metal Gear Solid, maybe. Both games I absolutely adore. Tony Hawk 2 I probably played more than Metal Gear Solid. I think I played it through a couple of times and that was it. Or Resident Evil 2 as well, absolutely. Resident Evil 2. I'm going to go Resident Evil 2 because I know that game back and front. I can play that game probably blindfolded. Don't test me on that. But I used to play it so much as a kid, I could just walk through it. I knew where everything was. I memorised, you know, locations of everything. I could just smash that game through. So I'm probably for that era going to say Resident Evil 2. If we move into PS2, Xbox era, it will be my favourite game of all time, which is Psychonauts, which is just such a good game. It's so good. I'm so excited for Psychonauts 2 to come out. It's a comedy game, so it's really funny. It's really fresh and inventive with that kind of humoristic storytelling with the cutscenes and things. It's a 3D platformer, and they're always really fun to play. It's got some interesting quirks. So it's basically set inside people's heads. So it's kind of their anxieties, their like depression coming through, how their brain works. There's a lot of kind of comment on a lot of comment on mental illness and things like that in there. It's just great. It's just so good. So I'm going to say Psychonauts. And then we're talking Xbox 360, PS3 era. What have I really just so much stuff I've absolutely like loved. I'm going to say BioShock Infinite. Or the original BioShock or BioShock Infinite, because they're the games that I've super got into. Or the Assassin's Creed series. I've just like, Assassin's Creed was born on those series, and that's one of my favourite franchises of all time. So it's a split decision. It's going to be Assassin's Creed, every Assassin's Creed game except in 3 because I didn't really like it, and BioShock and BioShock Infinite because they're great. It's great games. And then contemporary, as in like super recent modern game, it's going to be Spider-Man PS4. There you go. That's an answer. Why is your brother so much better at every game than you, and why is he so much more handsome and charming? And what does narcissism actually mean? Because people keep saying it to me. A real question. What is next on your list of games to play? This is a video in itself. Okay, I'm going to put out a video. The next one after this is going to be my backlog. Basically, I've got lots of games I want to play, lots of retro stuff I've bought that I'll get around to eventually, but there is a definitive list of stuff that is next on my list. Stuff I really want to play, stuff I want to play to review as well. So that is a video in itself. So yeah, that's going to be the next one after this. So next week or whenever I get around to doing it, that video is coming out. So look forward to that. You're going to shout at me. People are going to get very angry about stuff that is on my list that I want to play that I haven't played yet. But you know what? Bring it on. How is your equipment set up? And also, what equipment do you use? Sneak peek behind the scenes of your setup and how you do it. I think this might be another video as well. Because making a video is quite a complicated system. It's not complicated, but there's lots of kind of wheels in motion and stuff. It involves, writing scripts, capturing footage, filming stuff like this live on camera, editing, and then like audio recording, and you got like sound editing, video editing, special effects stuff, like kind of green screen things, and there's just a whole heap of stuff. So I think I'm going to do a video about what equipment I use, so microphones, software, things like that, and so kind of how I make a video. So I think that's going to be a future video. So yeah, that's your answer for that. Stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to do a video about that. I've had it in my head for a while actually. So I saw a Game Grumps video and it did something very similar, and I was like, I use that software. That's what the capture card I use. And it kind of sparked that thing. It's like, Game Grumps are one of the biggest gaming channels in the world. I'm kind of down at the bottom, somewhere right near the bottom, probably right at the bottom actually. And we use basically the same stuff. So it's kind of sparked something in me. Feel like, yeah, maybe this could be something. Yeah, so that's going to be a video in itself. So stay tuned for that. Do you have any goals for your channel in 2020? Yes, just more people, more eyes, more people viewing the channel. I still want to get to 300. That's the big kind of self-imposed benchmark. I've got that envelope I showed you in the video earlier that I really want to open. So I want to see what that is. So 300 subscribers is my next big thing. I mean, 4 would be great. 350 would be great. Any more eyes on my stuff would be great. It's going to be kind of hard because of my kind of how busy I am and getting content out on a regular basis, but I think it's doable. Definitely think it's doable. So you know what? Screw it. Let's go out. Let's say 400 subscribers by the end of the year. See if we can do that. I'm not going to do it as a contest or anything. In fact, I might. No, if it gets to 400 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway. I'll figure out something to give away, and we can do that. 300 subscribers, I'm definitely going to do a giveaway with some of those Loot Crate bits that I still have left over. So 300 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway with stuff, which will be on Twitter. The information will be in there, so make sure you follow me on Twitter at Sam_Palmer_37. And we're going to do a video about those games that are on the shelf. I'm pointing because it's literally like there. You can't see because of the way the camera's set, but it's just there on the shelf. So I think, yeah, 300 and then 4 would probably be my big goals for the year. And just to produce more stuff, really. This will be my 49th video on my channel. So 50 videos is going to be a big thing, so I might try and do something special for that. It might be 51 based on what I've got coming next. We'll see. Yeah, but I do kind of have some plans, but again, it's time, availability, all that stuff, just what I can actually get done. But yeah, let's do that. 300 and then 400. That's what I want to achieve this year. Moving on, next question. Would you ever consider streaming on Twitch over videos on YouTube? I actually have a Twitch channel. I don't use it ever so often. The way my capture setup is, as you see when I do my videos, it doesn't work great on Twitch for some reason. There's a lot of lag. Videos are super stuttery, but I have streamed on Twitch quite a few times. I played some Tony Hawk actually. I finished Tony Hawk 2 on Twitch recently. No, Tony Hawk 1 on the Dreamcast on Twitch recently. And started playing Tony Hawk 3 on Twitch. So Twitch is something I do kind of want to do more of. I'm going to have to take a look at my setup and see if I can improve it to better stream on Twitch. But I don't want to just be a Twitch streamer. I want to be a YouTube reviewer. I I don't want to be a Let's Player. I want to be a reviewer. I mean, I do Let's Play videos from time to time, but I don't want to be doing just that. I mean, it's great for people who can do just that, but I want to do a bit more. I want to review and, you know, edit stuff and do like little cool videos like that. So, but yeah, I do have a Twitch. Believe it or not, it is twitch.tv/xHARDCOREGAMErx. So it's the same as my YouTube channel. So go and check it out if you want. I think there's some archive stuff on there at the moment. I don't use it that much, but I do want to get into using it a little bit more. Again, that's when free time allows, which seems to be the moral of this video. But yeah, I do have a Twitch, but I don't see it overtaking my YouTube stuff. Okay. Next question. What games do you think are overrated and which are underrated? Overrated. Oh, I'm going to get into some trouble with this one. Final Fantasy. I just don't get it. I think it's just me. I'm not into JRPGs. I'm not super into RPGs at all, really. I mean, I have played like the newer Assassin's Creed games. I'm starting playing The Witcher at the moment, based on the TV series, because it was great. So I do play RPGs, but they're not like my favourite thing. I mean, the RPG I got super hardcore into the most was Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I got really into Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Before that, I was kind of into X-Men Legends, but not as much. But yeah, JRPGs, like turn-based stuff, like I can't get into Pokemon. I mean, I've got quite far playing Pokemon on my Game Boy Advance. I've got Fire Red and was playing through that. And I basically got to the Victory Road and then realised how to level up all my Pokemon rather than have this one super hard one. So I kind of need to go back and grind. And I think that's the thing. I think it's grinding that does my head in, to be honest. But yeah, like JRPGs, the Final Fantasy series specifically, because people always like go crazy over Final Fantasy, and I just don't get it. Again, I'm probably going to lose subscribers and lose friends because of that, but it's just not for me. Sorry. If you enjoy it, cool, go for it. It's not for me. Underrated. Another controversial opinion. I don't think this is going to lose me friends or subscribers, but I'm going to say the FIFA series. People always think it's like that. Oh, there is the same game every year. They just change the names around and change the kits. There is a bit of that, yeah. Like the UI seems to mostly be the same. They do update the engine and the graphics pretty much every year. They add new features in. A lot of it's kind of under the hood, like stuff to do with their engine and their AI sequencing and things like that. But I really like FIFA games. I've actually, again, like I said about doing like a SpiderMan, doing like a FIFA month. I've been writing a video for a while now, which is the history of FIFA. Going right back from the very first game up to FIFA 20, which is the most recent release. And basically talking about the inception of the series, what they wanted to achieve with it, and then going through each game and talking a bit about them and the things they added, the things they changed, the things they got rid of, and showing you that it's not just the same game they release every year. So I don't think underrated, I'm probably going to say FIFA. Also Psychonauts, because it's great and more people should play it. More people should have bought it when it came out. So yeah, go with those for the time being, I think. Next question. If you could only play one game for the rest of your life, which one would you choose? This is a really good question. I've got a game I always go back to. So if I'm feeling like super blue, again, I've got kind of mental health stuff occasionally, so I have like anxiety issues and things like that. If I'm feeling really down, I always go back to Skate 3. Like, always just go back to it. I think because I know it like the back of my hand. I love skateboarding. I've recently got back into skateboarding again, which I might do some videos about at some point. I know my friend Martin from Martin's Games is doing a video, an entire channel about starting skateboarding again at 30 years old. I am 36. I've kind of just got back into it. I think we're going to do some collabs at some point on his channel. So yeah, I think Skate 3, yeah, it's just this great game. It's just a fun game to play. Once you master the controls, you can just kind of do anything in the game. There's no like, you have unlocked the kickflip, you have unlocked the 360 flip. You can just do everything from the start. There's nothing hidden behind like walls like that. It's just a fun game. So yeah, Skate 3, let's say that. Any more collaborations with fellow tubers planned? I briefly mentioned there, Martin's Games does his Kickflip at 30 channel. I might be doing some stuff with him, but nothing's 100% confirmed yet. But we've spoken about skating together. And if we skate together, I want to do some filming. So possibly Martin's Games. With KTHXBI, I'm hoping to do some stuff at some point. We've spoken about doing some like board game stuff. So not like I do play Dungeons and Dragons, but not like Dungeons and Dragons, but like board games based on game properties. So he's got a Super Mario board game, and there's things like the Nintendo Monopoly, and doing some things like that as well. He was on my video when we went to Revival, so hopefully we can go to Revival again this year as well. They do have one planned, so maybe get some more people involved with that. But yeah, I'm totally open to collaboration, so if you want to collaborate with me, please get in touch with me. We can chat, we can discuss what we're going to do. My collabs I've done so far have been some of my favourite videos. Like the one I did with Ranger Liz for Power Rangers was amazing. That was so much fun. I've done stuff with Martin's Games before. Again, I've done stuff with KTHXBI before. Yeah, so I really want to do more. So yes, please get in touch if you want to collab with me. I might start contacting people as well about doing a collab. I did have an idea for doing like a big, it was a YouTube, like a UK YouTuber collab. But it all kind of fell apart and nobody did videos in the end, really. So I might try and bring that back, or I may try and do something else, or maybe not something quite as big in scope. But yeah, I'm totally up for doing more collabs in the future. So please let me know. If I were going to bring out another classic mini console, what one would it be? I think the obvious one would probably be the N64. I don't see it happening for a while, and I think if they did, it'd be quite expensive. Like, that controller is massive, and it's going to have to be like a replica. The games are, I think they're quite high memory as well, so it's probably going to have quite a big internal memory. But yeah, I think the next logical step would be an N64 Mini. I mean, I'd love to see an N64 Mini. That would be good. Yeah, so N64 I think would be the most logical one. What would I like to see? Let me just have a little glance at my gaming shelf and see. I think a GameCube one would be good. But again, their games are super high memory, so it's going to have to be really high capacity. I think once you start getting to the level of like PS2, Xbox, I think they're going to be so much harder to do, these classic mini consoles. I do really want to pick up the new Mega Drive one, because that's supposed to be really good. Yeah, as they get like higher memory, they're going to be just tougher to do. Maybe a Sega Saturn could be good if the Mega Drive one is proved successful. I think games around the same size as PS1 games, so I think a Sega Saturn would be good. Actually, that would be really good, actually. Yeah, Sega, please. Sega Saturn Mini would be cool. Games you get on there, you get like Burning Rangers on there, Nights into Dreams, Virtual On, Daytona USA, or Sega Rally, Manx TT. You could really put some good stuff on there. Virtual Fire, you know. Yeah, I really want a Sega Saturn Mini. I've talked myself into it. Sega Saturn Mini, please. Sega, please. Last question. What's the best way to grow a channel as a beginner, and what other avenues do you use to get your content across? This is an interesting one for me to answer, because I'm not a big YouTuber at all. I'm the smallest of small YouTubers. But I think the following that I've got is basically down to promotion and making good videos. You can't just bang out any old crap and expect people to watch it, I think. I know people do, and they get super famous at it, and you know, all power to them. They've got an audience for that stuff. But I want to put my all into a video, and I want it to be the best quality it can possibly be. And I think that shows. I think people want to see effort and want to see, you know, stuff you can do. As for growing it, it's been a lot of stuff through Twitter. Every time I put a video out, I tweet about it. I try and promote stuff as and when I can. Facebook as well, been good for promotion. I do have a Facebook page, there's a few people on it, but not very many. Streaming platforms, I only really use Twitch, but not that often. I think if you use Twitch a lot and you have a YouTube channel connected to it, that's probably a good way to grow. What I've been told from other people that have obviously grown their channels to big sizes, I've got some friends that have got really like big YouTube channels, and to the point where they're like full-time now. Like, that's their job. That's the dream, really, for YouTube to be your job. And they say it's just about persistence. So putting out videos regularly on a regular schedule, having them with a high standard, promoting the heck out of them when they come out, and not stopping on the first day, like promoting them every day for the first week of release, because that's when YouTube takes the most notice, is the first week of release. So it's just promotion, making really good videos consistently. So every week, a lot of the best guys do them like daily, which is crazy. I think a couple of times a week is probably good for a review-based channel. So 2 videos a week, maybe 1 a week if it's really good. Keep them consistently of good quality and high standards. So you're using the same lighting equipment, good sound equipment, and you're a good person. You've got a good personality. You come across well. People want to watch you, and you've got like an infectious personality. They want to watch. They want to be friends with you. A lot of the channels that I like are people that I'd love to be friends with. And I know that's weird because they're like people on YouTube, and the chance of me being friends with them is really, really slim. But they're people that you think you could get on with. So I think it's just a combination of all those factors. And it's a lot of hard work, a lot of persistence, a lot of keeping your standards high, and a lot of, will and wanting to do it and promoting. So that's what I give. Any advice I could give to anyone starting up, I'd say that, even though I don't really do that myself, just because I don't have the time to do it. But yeah, that's how I would say about growing your channel. And that is a good question to end on. So thank you for watching this really long video. I'm hoping I can edit it down to some kind of shorter structure. I might put some like clips in. So this is the room tour, this is the Q&A, so people can skip around it if they want. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for being on my channel, thanks for joining me on here, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for liking this video. If you haven't liked it, please like it. And here's to a good 2020. Let's make some videos. Let's get to 300, because I want to see what's in this bloody envelope. See if we can get to 400, and let's just have a laugh and make some great videos in 2020. On that note, I've been the Hardcore Gamer. Join me next time for a much better video. But for now, I don't have an ending. So, bye.